What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Sirr Love from Phase 6. Here's another snippet from Chasing Greatness. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Phase 6, your source for music, business, motivation, and support. It's your guy, Sirr Love, and I'm super excited to do another episode of Chasing Greatness. Yes, here we are. As you guys know, on this show, I reach out to random individuals that have sent text messages through the text line. As you guys know, the text line is 404-442-4792. All you got to do is send a text message to that line with a question, and we reach back out randomly at random times to answer said questions and call you into the show. And so we never really know what we're going to get anytime we have one of these scenarios. So I got a couple messages out from the last blast that we still didn't get back to everyone from the last blast. There's a lot of you all that sent questions in, and I appreciate it. And so we're going to jump into it and just kind of see what the vibe is and what's going on. So here we go. The first person was Quentin, and Quentin is from, where's Quentin from? I don't know. Quentin didn't put where he's from. 239. I don't know what 239 is. We'll find out. But Quentin wanted to know, how often should an independent artist release songs, right? It was a while ago since he asked that question. The question may have changed between now and then, but let's figure it out. Let's find out. Here we go.
Hey, it's Q.
Yo, Q, how you doing? This is Sirr Love from Phase 6. How you feeling?
What's up, brother? I'm doing well, man. How about yourself?
I am super solid, my guy. Super solid. I got
awesome, bro.
I saw your message, man, and you know, I know we didn't get back to you last time, and I'm going back around and trying to catch everybody if I can.
Okay, cool. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man, no problem, dog. So, man, normally I could tell where everyone's from. You got a 239 number. Where you from?
It's Florida, South Florida.
Okay, South Florida. That's what's up. Okay, cool. I ain't catching you when, you know, like we've been doing these shows, and sometimes I'm catching people mad late or mad early. They still in work and whatnot because I'm trying to get all the time zones in. I've had a couple different people that we brought on the show that were from across seas, and so I was definitely jacking up the time code. But shoot, man, it's great to have you on. Great to have you on the show, man. I appreciate you for supporting the channel and supporting everything that we're doing. And you know, like I said, man, we're reaching out to answer questions randomly. And so you know, whatever's on your mind, whatever question you got, I'd love to try to take the next 10 minutes or so to answer it.
Awesome, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, let's dive right into it. I know. I think last time I messaged you, I wanted to know what your thoughts were in regards to how often should an artist, particularly singer-songwriters, how often should they be releasing music? I mean, I'm an artist that definitely likes quality over quantity. So I'm just wondering, like, with that being so, how often should, we release music, especially if we're independent?
So I think that depends on your marketing strategy. It depends on your budget. It depends on the type of music that you make. There are a lot of factors. There's not going to be any one answer for one artist. Now, if we look at it from an online algorithm perspective, being that algorithms are pretty much driving, consumption in the music business right now, then the answer to that question is going to be undoubtedly you want to consistently release music at a regular schedule cadence, right? All of the content platforms that are out there, whether they're social or streaming based or whatever, they all reward you for consistently releasing content because their goal is to keep users on their platforms as long as possible. So the more content you release, the more your fans are excited to see it, the more their users stay on the site looking at you. So from a business algorithmic perspective, you should be dropping records as frequently as possible, and then supportive material. So you might drop the record, you might drop a snippet of the record, then you might drop the record, then you might drop, a lyric video, then you might drop a full video, then you might drop a behind the scenes of the video, then you might drop, the idea is to break up that one release into as many pieces of content as possible. You got photo shoots at the videos, you're dropping photos, right? And you're constantly working said algorithms. And mind you, every algorithm, every platform, every strategy would be different per platform to maximize, consumption through the proliferation of the app. Now, from a creative perspective, you can throw all that out the window, right? So,
Right.
but I got to give you the business response, right? So that's one side of it, and that is a mechanical kind of cookie cutter best practices, technique, right? It doesn't matter if your music is good or bad. It should lead to an increase in volume of consumption based off where you are, right? The better you do it, the better your content is, the more of an increase you'll see. But regardless of which, your stuff could suck. If you do that, you're going to see an increase. Now, there's the creative side of it, which is going to change, again, based off the quality, like you said, the quality of the music, and again, who you're targeting, how well you understand your targeted audience, and how well you service that audience. So if you think about artists that in recent times have taken a long time to drop projects, Bruno Mars dropped that last 24 Karat project, and we haven't heard anything from him since. But that fucking album was a smash. That shit was amazing, right? It was amazing quality. He toured the whole world, I think 2 times on that shit. It was a great project. But now there's a lot of pressure on him to drop another project that's going to be as great, right? Right. So when you do the process of being extremely creative and taking longer breaks between your records, you have an issue of underperforming. So let's go to artists like Big Sean. Big Sean took a long time before he dropped his latest project, right? And unfortunately, that project wasn't reviewed very well by his new fans, or not by his fans, right? And so as a result, he really lost, he really lost a grip on the market. Now, he's an artist that has staple fans, and he's always going to be able to tour and do certain things because he has a strong audience. But when you drop Detroit 2, knowing that Detroit was a dope, strong album, and you've taken this long to bring it to the market, and you don't have smashes on it, and you're not really servicing your audience and your fans in the way they want to be serviced, that's what makes people bring your name up in the have they fallen off conversation.
Okay.
So that's the whole concept. That's how I would speak to the complete converse, is that if you're not going to play the algorithms, you're going to play creative, and you're going to take as long as you want to perfect the album, know that the pressure from your audience to super serve them from a quality perspective is going to increase with every iteration. Now, to answer your original question, I believe that an artist should land somewhere in the middle. I believe that you should drop content that is consistent, right? You have a consistent cadence to how you drop singles, to how you drop records, to how you drop videos, to when you go on tour. I think there should be a cycle that you go through. Every X amount of time, I drop a single. Every X amount of time, I drop an album. Every X amount of time, I drop this, right? And sometimes that means breaking up your albums into mini EPs. Instead of doing, 12 record album, I'm going to drop two 5 record EPs and then 2 random singles in between. That way, instead of dropping one project a year, I just drop 4 different things throughout the year. I drop 2 singles. And then 4, right? You might want to break it up like that. And I think because you don't have to sacrifice quality, you just need to change your delivery process for how you're getting the records into the marketplace. Plus, that gives you a better grip on what's working and what's not working. So you could drop half the album in an EP format, right? And you can find out that your audience really isn't rocking with 2 of the records, and there could be a lot of things that those records have in common. You can now take off additional records that you were going to release that had a similar style, right? And so now you can avoid taking losses, promotional losses on those particular types of records. So you can learn from consumer behavior related to how you're releasing the content. So that would be, my feedback for everyone is you want to land somewhere in the middle, and you just want to break up your quality into multiple pieces. And at the same time, if you're an artist that makes trendy music, you know that your cadence has to be higher. Your volume has to be higher than an artist that's making music that is more timeless, right? A timeless piece, you can take your time to make it. If it takes you a year to make it, and then a year to promote it, it may be 3-4 years before certain audiences hear it. So you have to keep that in mind from a timeless perspective. But if you're making trendy records using trendy catchphrases or trendy melodies or trendy whatever, everyone knows what trendy means, then you got to drop that shit now. You got to get it out there. You got to push it. You got to be on to the next.
Right.
So, you know what you're making, and you just have to have the proper strategy to support the type of music that you make.
Most down.
So
gotta ride that wave, right? If you plan for the now game, which a lot of artists are doing, I mean, especially given the circumstances, you got to really ride the wave, not only sound, but strategically, business wise.
Yeah, if you're riding a now wave, your goal is to not fall off, to stay on as long as you can, right? And if you're playing the longevity game, then it's to create, experiences for your audience that makes them want to rock with you for a long time. And there's two different strategies, even from how you're going to get paid and compensated, right? If you're playing a now game, you're dropping a single trying to see how many plays did I get within the first 30, 60, 90 days. Whereas if you drop a record that is what you would call timeless, or a record that is more creative, or you feel like, it's not a trendy record, it's something that's going to, again, be timeless, then you're looking at how the record grows over time. A trendy record is going to hit, it's going to swell, and then it's going to fizzle off, right? And the swelling part is the hard part, because the swelling is all the marketing and the push that you put behind the record. You work in the record. Whereas a timeless record, you can drop the record and it can build over time. Like a classic example of this was Kid Rock. Kid Rock's first album years and years ago. Obviously, Kid Rock. Most people don't even remember who this dude is, right? But Kid Rock dropped the project that pretty much flopped. Toured the country, and by the time he finished touring the country, I think it was double gold, triple gold, something, maybe it'd been platinum. I forgot the stats on it. But the record grew throughout the process of him going out there and making people familiar with the project. It was a quality record. People just weren't introduced to it, and it did the numbers and it did what it was supposed to do. Fast forward years later, Kid Rock becomes a hip hop country, icon, rock and roll icon, right? So, it just depends on the music and the type of music you make. Like if I think about a group like Migos, they're the perfect example of like a trendy group, right? And not to say there's anything wrong with being trendy, right? They're consistently dropping records to stay on top. Now, today, you'll have some people that'll say they're starting to fall off as artists like Lil Baby and DaBaby and whatever start to fill the void. But, they've had the game in a chokehold for a long time, and they did it by consistently hitting you with the new flow, with the new style, with the new this, over and over and over and over and over again. They stayed on your neck, right? But in the same time frame, you got artists like Kendrick Lamar.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
Right.
And, from a hip hop perspective, you can debate on who's better, who's this, that, and the third, and but both of them are successful. And I would say that the Migos have had a bigger impact on hip hop in the marketplace than Kendrick Lamar.
True.
But Kendrick Lamar, to most hip hop heads, would be considered, the more talented artist, the guy that can go into conversations with the greats in reference to, who's the best rapper of the era and blah, 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 blah. Right? Two separate conversations, but both of them getting money, both of them winning, both of them successful, and both of them have changed the culture in hip hop and made their own imprint. So it's on you. That's how I look at it. So, was that helpful?
That was incredible, man. You hit it. You went point by point, man.
That's what's up, man. That was a good question too. I appreciate you bringing that type of conversation to the table so that other people can hear that. But yeah, man, I hope that helps you with your quest. And you know what I'm saying. Obviously, be sure to check out the channel. We're doing the podcast thing right now. We're not doing any visuals with it. It's all audio. But a couple next episodes, we'll start doing videos and things of that nature with it. But right now, we are releasing it on YouTube, and it's going to start coming out on all the other podcast platforms. So, man, obviously, stay tuned to hear yourself, obviously. But check us out, man. We coming back, brother.
Most definitely, man. I appreciate it.
No problem, man. I appreciate you, man. Enjoy the rest of your day, my guy.
You too. All love, man. Be safe.
All right. One.
Yeah.
All right. That was a dope conversation. I was feeling that. I was feeling that energy. Was anybody else feeling that energy? That felt like a vibe. I know so many of us struggle with that, right? We struggle with, how to be true to ourselves. What is being true to ourselves? How to be true to the game? What is being true to the game? What's the best way to work a project, get a project out there? I hope that was helpful, right? There's not any one way to do anything ever. I don't know everything, but I know a lot about a little and a little bit about a lot, and I'm trying to give you guys everything that I got right here on Phase 6. Check us out at www.phasevi.com. Again, that's www.phasevi.com. Beam in.